Hi, traders. Tomorrow we have big numbers. We have a Supreme Court decision. We also have the NFP. I'm going to go into it pretty flat, staying long crude. We have the dollar trying to break out over this important line right here. I mean, looks pretty clean, but I'm not going to take this signal in front of red numbers and a red event about tariffs. It's important to protect your equity, and if you miss something, get used to it. You're going to miss things all the time. I am going to hold the yen long because I have a lot of conviction about that getting up to here's a magnet that I'm looking for on the yen. It's way up there around 159. Here's a blue magnet line. Let's see where it comes in. Yeah, it's going to be up around 159. So I still think there's some upside. And I have a hard time wanting to get short the euro here because the euro pound looks like it's trying to come out of the hole here for at least a bear market rally. So I'm almost leaning towards fading strong news in the euro. I still think that there's a chance. I even put up a line here for another dollar wave to the downside before the big move in the dollar happens. So here's your daily. I'm going to have to go the weekly so you guys could see it. Now it's up around 120, and that would imply a third drive um, to the bottom in the Dixie. So here we are, prior to highs. We did have divergence up here. Sometimes it only takes two. But I think there's a lot of, I don't like the fact that the euro is holding up better than cable. Usually that's a negative dollar situation. So we'll see. It's a pretty negative week, but they could turn it all in a day. Gold came off the 78.6 level. It's still up on the week, and it's holding up better than silver. And the key was the gold silver ratio put in a double bottom here. Okay, it's trying to come out of the hole. If we had made a new low, I would have been more constructive because we still have this confirmed low down here. So we'll see. Gold did come off pretty good from that 78.6 reading right here. But as you can see, there's a wick here in gold and really no wick in silver. So the gold silver ratio um, really led this decline in silver. Silver bulls have to be pretty careful if we start closing under 70. That would project 60 or lower. Copper getting the pullback as well. To me, looks like you have two drives to a top right here. Momentum a little bit too strong. So we'll see. 10-year on the verge again, threatening the 420 level. Still think that's going to happen. That would imply maybe a strong number. TLT was trying, and then look what happens. It just gaps lower. So actually making new lows. Um, if you took the signal from 69.48 in the S&Ps, I posted in the room, I put in a break-even stop, but if you haven't take partials, I'm going to take another piece here. It's good for 39 handles. So we'll see on the week, unless they really get to it on the employment news, or, I'm not sure how the market's going to react if the Supreme Court, declares the way tariffs are being charged as illegal. So, but you have to say, we diverged on multiple time frames. I think even the 4 hour. There's your daily. You could see that we did not confirm the new high. NASDAQ never made a new high. 4 hour still diverging. And let's take a quick look at NASDAQ. It's down pretty good. So here we are. The fact that we're making potentially a second lower high, but here's your formation. It's a symmetrical triangle. And it's going to be a big move. You go the width of the triangle, it's pretty big. So whichever way it comes out of it, is going to be pretty good move, 24.8, about 1,400 handles, whichever way it comes out. So this too is hanging on a thread. I don't think we're higher on the week and NASDAQ has not made a new high, unlike the S&Ps. So here's the weekly. Yeah, it's still higher on the week, but we're coiling. We're at the compression point, so we'll see what happens. I think it would shake people up to have some type of correction here because everyone thinks that 7,000 in the S&Ps is a lock. Maybe we get something to the downside first. They're getting to Apple still looking negative. I know Mike thinks that Apple going down is bullish for the market because that's where people park their assets. But Tesla looking pretty heavy too. Nvidia really pretty weak rally. There's your weekly. It's down on the week with the market making new all-time highs. We take out this 170 level and there's big problems. This to me looks like a failing rally. The mags, mag 7 not making new highs, um, with the market doing so makes it vulnerable. Another negative week in mag 7's tight range. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't look great with the market looking great. And I just want to cover crude because it held that 66 level, pretty important level, 56. You can see it here on the daily, getting a nice little move, holding support. I believe you stay long here and you could trail your stops under the low. So as you can see, that 56.40 level buy was okay. So I'll take this into um, all the red events tomorrow. Uh, Basically, you had a buy the rumor, sell the fact on Venezuela. But here you go. That's a picture. So I had this line drawn after I had stops. If you took it to heart, got out at 57.80. This was a false breakout. People who buy headlines today sell newspapers tomorrow. I thought we were breaking out, and we didn't, which is an important signal. That's why, the 56.80, I said you could tighten 57.80, that you could tighten up your stops under this low, and it helped you not give back all of it. Okay. And that this line, even though we had a few pokes underneath it, you have to say it was successful. It held, looks great to me. Um, Whereas natural gas, which is something I said, even though someone pointed out divergence, this gap here until it's filled still portends lower prices in nat gas. And I just want to come up with my call in Bitcoin that, we've sold off pretty good. I actually think that we're going to trade 70K in Bitcoin. And you know that throughout this whole rally, I wasn't buying it because of this, a confirmed low. You see it there. So I believe we're going to take out the 80,000 low by maybe 10K. So that's your prep. I would look to maybe fade euro weakness tomorrow. And and I'll stay long the yen, and oil looks good, and take partial profits in front of the number, maybe even take it all in the S&Ps. It was a pretty good trade. You can always get back in because maybe if it's a strong number, the market's going to like it. But anyway, right here in the S&Ps, from yesterday's post, to sell at 69.48, you have almost 40 handles here. So you could go the door and react to the reaction tomorrow. And I encourage people to come into our room. We have some guys posting like this guy right here who learned my stuff. And it's interesting. probably younger, more aggressive, trades my stuff at times better than I do. So it's a place for you to learn, just like I'm um, trying to instruct and teach here on these live streams that you could come in here and post like a lot of these guys are, and you can get better by posting and surrounding yourself with traders that might be a little better from you. So it's a learning environment. It's free. And I encourage people to come in here and participate. See, there he goes again. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow after the number. Remember, the markets will be here after the NFP and the Supreme Court. Make sure your equity is, and don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios.